Hello students, welcome to Spectra Educational Academy. In this video, I am going to explain vector product, or you can also call it as cross product between two vectors. First, let me give you the definition, and thereafter I'll give you examples, and after that we proceed with properties. So first definition, vector product. So you can also write this is R cross product. So look at the formula given below. C is equal to, C is a vector, that is the resultant, A cross B. This is the way to represent. And you can also write AB sine theta with n cap. So looking at this equation, just now you frame the definition. The vector product between two vectors is a vector whose magnitude means magnitude of C. So C is a resultant, it is a vector whose magnitude. So magnitude of C, whose magnitude is equal to product of magnitude of those two vectors. Those two vectors means A and B. Those two vectors and sine of the angle between them. So one more point, this is important point. The resultant acts in a direction perpendicular to the plane of vector A and vector B. So C will be perpendicular to plane containing vector A and perpendicular to plane containing vector A and B. Now let me explain with the help of diagram. So what is this n cap? N cap indicates the direction of resultant. Now let me explain with the help of diagram. Just to take like this, it's just like a room. Join like this. So treat this is z-axis. Treat this is y-axis. And treat this is x-axis. So two vectors A and B, how to imagine them? So just you take this is vector A, this is vector B. So x and y plane containing two vectors A and B. Right now, I took the example of these two are acting at an angle 90. In which direction the resultant will be? Resultant will be along y direction. So along z direction, So you can understand like this. So there is a way to get the result of cross product, A cross B, matrix method we use. You have to check whether resultant will be upward z axis or downward z axis. We'll see. I, J, K. Now you treat A is some 2i plus 3j. Vector A is, okay, since it is falling along x direction, you didn't take y direction, you take only, this is 2i. Since vector B is falling on y-axis positive, you take this is 3j, because j is the unit vector parallel to y-axis, I is the unit vector parallel to x-axis, and k is the unit vector parallel to z-axis. Now, so I took some numbers. So magnitude of A and B can be different. So this is going to be 3. This is going to be this is going to be 2. This is going to be 0, because A doesn't have y, and j, and A doesn't have j, and A doesn't have k. Similarly, B doesn't have I, and doesn't have k. Okay, so that is why, keeping this in mind, A doesn't have j and k, B doesn't have I, but it has 3. It has j component, or component along y-axis, and k. Yeah. So this is the way I treat. Once again, this is going to be, if you take I, this column and this row, you forget about A, B, C, D. So AD 0 minus BC 0. 3 into 0 is 0. This is gone. Now when you move to J, you forget about this column and row. Now you have to treat this one is A, this one is C. AD 2 into 0, 0 minus 0. Now plus K. So check it once, K value is going to exist. Now when you consider K, you forget about this column and row. So now this is going to be, B and D. AD, it will be 6, and it will be 0. So this is 0, this is 0, and you will get A cross B as 6K. So 6K, that too positive. So therefore, resultant vector acts perpendicular to x and y axis. It is along z axis with the magnitude of 6, if you take these numbers. So that is why A vector, magnitude of A vector and B vector may be different. Then, so let me proceed with the examples now. Suppose you take once again an example, just like drawing a room. First, join them like this. So don't always think that what are the vectors A and B to take parallel to x-axis and y-axis. You can take in the plane x and y. So first let me proceed with this example. Yeah. So you treat this is one vector, this is the other vector. So you take this is like this is the origin. So therefore you treat this is vector B. Of course you treat it as position vector R. This is origin. Okay. This is the origin. This is the origin. Now this is vector A. You treat this is vector A as force. Suppose when particle is here, on the x-axis, so you have taken R is a position vector. So R joins the origin and instantaneous position of the particle. Particle right now is on x-axis. Suppose if a force applied like this. Force applied like this means what? This is applied parallel to y-axis, because this side and this side are same. So even you can draw like this. So this one will be R now. So just it is just like constructing a parallelogram. Now F is acting parallel to y-axis. So therefore what you can give is Fj. So this is acting parallel to y-axis. And position vector is parallel to x-axis. So this is y-axis. And this is z-axis. Okay. So we'll check in which direction the torque will be, because torque is an example for cross product between two vectors. What are the two vectors is R is one vector, that is position vector instead of vector B. A is another vector. Instead of A, we have taken force. So this is a mathematical formula of torque. So let us find out in which direction torque will act. So position vector is along x-axis and it is added with I component. Now, so R cross F is equal to I J K. Now you take some magnitude for R, you give some 3I, you take magnitude of force as some 4J. Now this is going to be, R doesn't have J and K, it will be 3 and 0, 0. F doesn't have X and Z, so it will be 0 and 4, 0. Now when you take I, forget about this column and row, A, B, C, D. So it will be AD minus BC, this will be 0, just now I have explained. And this will also be 0, 4 into 0. Minus J when you move with. Therefore, this is column, this row you forget. So AD, so it will be 0, 3 into 0 and 0 next, plus K. Now you treat. So this column you forget, this row you forget, AD, it will be 12 minus 0. So therefore, you'll finally get a torque. Torque is a resultant, it will be 12K. So K is the corresponding unit vector along z-axis. If you take these numbers, you will get the resultant parallel to z-axis. So parallel to z-axis. So C will be just like torque now. Just treat that. C will be just like torque. A will be just like a force. Okay. Otherwise, you take this is a vector. R is okay. Letter is not the changing of letter is not the criteria. So therefore, this is A vector. This is B vector. Now, so you have other examples also. This is one of the examples. You can take vectors to fall in between x-axis and y-axis. So in such cases, how to imagine? How to imagine? So once again, you take like this. How to imagine cross product now? So you join them. So now we are going to assume vectors are going to A and B are going to fall in XY plane like this. So therefore, you have to construct once again parallelogram like this. You draw a line parallel to this. Draw a line parallel. So let's say this is vector A. This is vector B. Drawing line parallel to this. This is going to be B. And drawing line parallel to A. This is going to be A. So it means, suppose if you take a particle here. So this is the direction of, say, let's say this is the force you take it as. B vector is just like a position vector that is joining instantaneous position of the particle and origin. Now you treat A vector as force. Now force is going to apply like this. Force is going to be applied like this. Now vector A falls, vector A is acting just like force. It falls in the XY plane. So vector A is just like force, it is falling in XY plane like this. So therefore, it is going to get X component and Y component. So now A is just like a force falling in the XY plane, maybe with some magnitude 2I plus 3J cap. Now even position vector, B is a position vector. So it is also falling in the XY plane, in particular positive X and positive Y. This is positive Y. This will be positive Z. Now, so you will give some numbers. Number is not the numbers are uncertain. Some 3I plus 4J. Yeah. So of course, maybe more magnitude. When you take magnitude of f, maybe it may be less than magnitude of position vector, right? So now cross product. So r cross f. So just check in which direction it is going to act. See, you can take position vector with one of the component negative, even force also with one of the component negative. So force can act in positive x, negative y, in negative y plane. Force can act negative x, positive y plane. So multi options you can go with the r cross f. So therefore, I, j, k. So it has 2, it has 3, it is 0. Next, coming to f part. Sorry, come first let us write r. R is 3, under I3 and under J4, this is 0. For the case of f, 2, 3, 0. So if you go with I, this column and this row you forget. So this will be 0, this will be 0. Minus j if you take. So this column and this row, this will be 0, this will be 0. Plus k. So therefore, this is going to be 9. This is going to be 8. So therefore, torque is a vector. It is going to be 1k. So it acts parallel to z axis. So this torque is equal to r cross f. So you can choose even force to act along negative direction also. So multi options you can take. So these are the examples. Okay. So you take this is positive x-axis, positive y-axis. So it has components then. So these are the examples for cross product. There are other examples also. Angular momentum. So this is second example. Angular momentum is equal to r cross p. R is again position vector. P is the linear momentum. This is also one of the example for cross product between two vectors. Let me give you third example. So same way you have to imagine how the momentum and r in a three-dimensional plane. So then next there is another example. V is equal to omega cross r. What is omega means? Omega is angular velocity. R is again position vector. Then if you go to 12th class part, so force acting on the moving charge in magnetic field, Q and V cross B. Even suppose if this is the case when charge moving maybe in the direction perpendicular to the field with velocity, and in which direction force acts. There is another example also. Force acting on the current carrying conductor of length L. So it will be I L cross B. So these are all the examples for cross product. Now let us proceed with the properties. Properties of cross product. Now once again let me write the cross product. C is equal to AB sin theta with n cap. So what is n cap? Is n cap indicates the direction of resultant vector. Direction of resultant vector. So here, suppose if you take F2 act in the negative plane, if you take this is minus, if you take this particular 3 minus, you have to write this is minus. So therefore you may get answer as minus sign. So in such cases, torque will be downwards. So now you got the answer, torque will be upwards. If you change a force component, or let us say y component of force, so you may get this is negative. So in such cases, torque can be negative. So n indicates that the direction of resultant. Now, after this, suppose if two vectors A and B are parallel. First, let us proceed with vector product does not vector product of two vectors. Two vectors does not obey commutative law. So it means you cannot write that A cross B is equal to B cross C. So therefore you have to write does not obey. Second property. It obeys distributive law. So A cross B plus C can also be written as A cross B. So A is distributed to both B and C. A cross C. Next, after that, suppose if A and B, if vector A and vector B are parallel, vector A and vector B are parallel means theta will be 0. So sin 0 is 0. So cross product vanishes. A cross B is equal to 0. Then, okay, so if R and F, in the case of torque examples, if R and F are parallel, force and position vector are parallel, torque does not exist. So rotation is not possible. Next, suppose fourth bit is if A and B are perpendicular, so theta will be 90. If theta is 90, sine will be maximum. So you will get A cross B is equal to AB. So torque will be maximum in the case of R and F. So this is going to be C. Next, let us proceed with the unit vectors part. Remember, I cross I, J cross J, K cross K is equal to 0 because these are all parallel. So let me once again explain with the help of this one diagram. So this you take Z axis, this you take Y axis, this you take X axis. So therefore I and this is also I, these are parallel. So angle will be, theta will be 0, it vanishes. Similarly J cross J. So how do I assume J cross J? This is Y axis, corresponding unit vector is J. This is also Y axis, corresponding unit vector is J. So therefore these are parallel, it will be 0. And K and K. So how do you imagine K and K? So this is Z axis, one Z axis. This is other Z axis. So therefore K here, again parallel. So therefore K cross K is also 0. Now there is another issue here, I cross J. So you take a, like this, you take a circle, you divide it into 3 parts. Like this, roughly this one. Now, so this is I, you take, this one is J, this one is K. Now I cross, suppose I may be moving towards J in clockwise sense. So if it is clockwise sense, I cross J is equal to minus K in clockwise sense. J is moving towards K in clockwise sense. So J cross K is equal to minus I. So minus I will be resultant. Here minus K will be resultant in the first case. Then next, K cross I. In the clockwise sense means this will be minus j. So if it is anti-clockwise sense, so it means I moving towards k. First, let us proceed with j and I. J moving towards I in anti-clockwise sense. This is clockwise sense. Now this is going to be anti-clockwise sense. And I cross j. So should be k, positive, anti-clockwise sense. Similarly, j moving towards I. This is going to be k moving towards j. So it means in the anti-clockwise sense, k moving towards j. It will be I. So I will be the resultant now. And last. Now I moving towards k. So therefore, you write k cross I only, but treat that I moving towards. So it will be j. So therefore, j is going to be the resultant. Here, z-axis will be the resultant. K is the corresponding unit vector. Here, x-axis will be the resultant. I is the corresponding vector. So resultant acts along x-axis. Here, resultant acts along y-axis. J is the corresponding unit vector. So this is the representation of unit vectors in case of cross product between two vectors. And last property. Okay, you trade this is 6A. This is 6B. Now seventh property. A unit vector perpendicular to both, perpendicular to A and B, is n cap is equal to A cross B by mod A cross B. So there will be numerical on this. We'll discuss that in the next session. So in my next video, I'll proceed with the numerical based on cross product between two vectors. Thank you very much for watching my video, but don't forget to share and subscribe with your friends and relatives.